See, I was worried about this. I gave the truck some love. I gave her a new ball joint, a new tie rod in, and now she wants more love. Like, I had a piece fall off of it. Oh, this thing right here. This was laying down inside the engine compartment, rattling around. That's what that rattle is I've been hearing. But it actually, the exhaust manifold studs are rotting away. But the actual bolt itself is still in there, but this had a little part that came out that you put a nut on that fell off. It's kind of like this one over here. I think it's what they lifted in with at the factory, but that one's getting loose too. It's not gonna mess with that. Don't need to do exhaust manifolds on this old girl. But she had a misfire, and I started her up last night to go up to the drive-thru, and there's the problem. She done that wire rubbed against this exhaust manifold pipe, this EGR pipe, got hot and burned a hole in it. She started misfiring. And then also last night, see, I got that door locked. Let me go around here. Also last night, the heater motor decided to quit blowing, which it's been messed up for a while. Like the blower motor resistor's been bad, and I always have to turn it all the way to high to get it to blow. But yeah, this blower motor resistor was pretty bad. It was definitely, oh, see, she's just flaking apart. Oh yeah. So I thought, well, that's the only problem. But if you put 12 volts to this, it only works intermittently, and it's not spinning very fast. It's a little stiff, or it's not stiff now, but it gets stiff. So it's just time for a new blower motor. And then it also drew too much current and melted down the wiring right there. This goes over to the blower motor resistor. So I got the Dorman blower motor resistor because for 20 bucks it comes with this cable. AutoZone for this cable by itself, they want $62 for this pigtail. It's insane. But for 25 bucks you can get the resistor with a new pigtail with Dorman at O'Reilly's. So that's coming in here in about a half an hour. They didn't have it in the store, but they could have it there by 1:30. So I'll get that all put back together and crimped and plugged in and hooked up. And then I'll have heat again. But that's what happens, you know. You do a little work on these older cars, and then they're like, hey, I need some more love. Show me some more lovins. It's just like a cat, you know, you pet them a little bit. You go up to a cat and you just start petting them all the time. They don't want nothing to do with you. But if you ignore the cat and you just give it a little pet, just enough of a pet that it wants some more pet, and then you walk away, that cat will become your best friend. It's like a cat. So I'm gonna get old Silver here. Get this, luckily I had some other plug wires that I've collected over the years, this kind of stuff down in here. And I found this nice short one that is shorter than this one was. So it won't have all that extra hanging out to rub up against the exhaust manifold. I don't know, just when I change wires, or a lot of times when a customer's car, they got one bad wire like this, a lot of times they just say replace the whole set. They don't want to just replace the one wire. So I'll just keep the ones that look good so that I have them for those customers that, you know, some customers need the really cheap fix and they just need to replace that one wire. My ignition module, that's off a Ford Taurus, believe it or not, out of the junkyard. It's still working. But yeah, she's an old girl, man. She's an old girl. She still works though. Looks like it's time to maybe be changing on the brake fluid again here before too much longer. I mean, I changed that like 100,000 miles ago, and I replaced the brake line and bled it a little bit, but you know. She wants more. Still got the original radiator hoses, and that's looking like that's about to break off. We didn't see that. She was overheating a little bit the other day. This clutch fan, it's not terrible, but I don't think it's working as good as it once did. Probably needs a new one of those. But it didn't get it into the red zone, so. I hate to see what's inside that radiator. I mean, I do drain it and put some new fluid in it occasionally. I just drain the radiator out and put some new coolant in it, but I've never like power flushed it out or anything. Let's see what this brake fluid looks like. Oh yeah, it's not too terrible. That dirt's actually on my finger, but yeah, it's not too terrible. Oh, I lost the oil filter cap. I sat that down up here on the cowl and closed the hood and drove off, and it flew off on the side of I-70 somewhere. So she splashes a little oil out of there. I need to get another one of those. Transmission, take that and see what that fluid looks like. Well, it don't look too terribly bad. I changed on that, oh, I don't know, a few years ago I changed on the transmission fluid, so I try to do that every 100,000 miles or so. I just do a drop and a fill, and I always use I used to. Nowadays it's not any cheaper to buy the special Merc 5 that this takes, but I used to put like a Merc 3 in it or something, and then I would add the Lucas enhancer, but nowadays it's just as cheap just to buy the Merc 5. But back in the day, that Merc 5 was super expensive. But I think I still have some of that enhancer in here, maybe. I don't know. Do I? Oh yeah, here it is. You just dump this in there. You can get this at the napper. But you dump this in there and it makes it into a Merc 5 fluid. Or makes it Merc 5 compatible. That's what I've always done. Still runs and ships great. So now, believe it or not, the air conditioning still works in this, even though this whole bracket that holds this condenser up is falling apart and it's kind of rubbing the metal off at the bottom. But she still works. She still works. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. Eventually it's probably gonna fall out the bottom. That's fine. We'll deal with that then. I'll probably just cut the hoses off of it and be like, oh, we don't have any more AC. I don't know. Yeah, they wanted $62 for the blower motor, which I got in here. It's a cheap Chinesium one, but it'll probably work. And they had this at AutoZone. Everybody else wanted like 90 bucks. Got a new gasket in it. Oh. It's got a blower wheel in it. Hooks up in there. It'll work, I'm sure. It'll give me some heats. So, yep, we're all doing good. All right, I'm gonna get this plug wire on here and get this misfire taken care of, and then go up and get my blower motor resistor and the wire thing. So, all right, I really need to set my trash can back up again. Kind of getting a collection of thrown over in the corner trash. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. It's time for Freagle Prepper. All right, folks, no misfires. Check engine light went back out from the misfires. Just all on its own. She's got heat now, which is good. She blows really well now. She wasn't blowing so well before. Got a new ball joint and sway bar link, and I kind of cleaned out all the trash. Just did a rough clean out. I found some 380s. How about that? Yeah. Didn't know those were in here. They were back under the seat. But yeah, she still beeps like this because it does have a airbag code, like some kind of sensor's bad or something. But the airbag light burn out, so it makes these beeping sounds, and it makes the donger sounds for the seatbelt alarm. But those go away after a few minutes. I get used to those. I don't even notice them. Like, people ride in my truck and they're like, what is that sound? I'm like, oh yeah, it'll go away in a minute. But all right, I just got back from the Myers, bought some groceries, and it's getting kind of dark, kind of early. But yeah, I'm gonna head it on home. But she's good. She got good oil pressure, good temperature. Battery looks good. needs some gas. Yeah. All right. I'll see y'all later. It's time for fuel prepper.